Piastri, who is set to join McLaren for the 2023 season, says it's a shame he'll be replacing Formula One's only other Australian driver, Daniel Ricciardo. But as he points out, he couldn't pass up the opportunity simply because his countryman would lose his seat. Rumours that Piastri would be joining McLaren gained traction as Formula One entered its summer break, when the 21-year-old refuted Alpine's claim that he would be one of their 2023 drivers. While he did not specify where he would be going, it was assumed to be McLaren, but the Woking team first had to work Ricciardo out of the picture. They did so after the summer break, announcing on the eve of the Belgian Grand Prix that Ricciardo would be leaving the team 2 years into his 3-year contract. This opened the way for Piastri. However, before McLaren could confirm him, a contract recognition board hearing was required, which has now concluded that he is a McLaren driver. Piastri will partner Lando Norris next season, leaving Ricciardo with an uncertain future, in which no one knows if he will even continue in Formula One. Ricciardo has stated that this is his primary goal, with Alpine, Haas and Williams being mentioned as possible destinations. Piastri wishes him well and admits that he is unfortunate to be replacing Ricciardo. As a fellow Australian, it's unfortunate that of all people on the grid, it's Daniel who I'll be replacing. Daniel is someone I've watched as a fan from over 10 years since I started racing effectively. I have immense respect for Daniel, his achievements in the sport, his race wins and podiums, but also his personality he brings to the sport. I think he's a fantastic personality for the sport. I wish him all the best for whatever his future holds. That said, I don't get to choose which driver I replace, and I can't take an opportunity because the previous driver in that seat was Daniel. McLaren were extremely keen to have me on board, and it was an opportunity that was too good to refuse. For the time being, Piastri is Alpine's official reserve driver, and he will continue to work with the Enstone-based team in its simulator. However, with his future being elsewhere and him joining one of Alpine's main rivals, the team has little to gain by keeping him on board and learning about the team's technical progress. So, it's almost certain that options will be considered after the team finishes the triple header after Monza. For now, Piastri has stated that he is looking forward to working with McLaren, who he called an enthusiastic team with a winning record. Their enthusiasm to have me was very attractive. Zach and Andreas were very straightforward and to the point. McLaren have a competitive car. Obviously, it's a tight battle between Alpine and McLaren right now, but they are a competitive team with a hell of a lot of winning history, and I think the environment is a great fit for me. The team have great plans and the future is exciting. I'm also looking forward to working and driving alongside Lando. I know it will be a challenge, but I feel McLaren is the right place for me to start life in Formula One. I'm super excited to get started. As the Piastri case progressed to the F1's contract recognition board, Ricciardo revealed last month that he had had no contact with either the youngster or his manager Webber. But with things settling down over the Dutch Grand Prix weekend and Webber on the ground as part of his commitment to British broadcaster Channel 4, there was an opportunity for him and Ricciardo to talk at Zandvoort. That happened on Sunday ahead of the Dutch Grand Prix, and Ricciardo explained that Webber felt bad about the consequences of Piastri's move, while emphasising that it was nothing personal. We haven't seen obviously each other in person since it all started. I feel he didn't need to, but he felt like he wanted to, in a way, apologise and just see how I'm doing. Obviously, I know how this sport is. It's nothing personal to me, and he wanted to make sure that I knew and understood that, and just make sure that I felt okay. He feels pretty bad. Obviously, it's how it's gone down, and obviously how things have been put out there in the media. So yeah, it was obviously nice to speak to him. In addition to speaking with Webber about the situation, Ricciardo claims to have spoken privately with Piastri to ensure that there are no lingering tensions. I've also spoken to Oscar, to be honest, and just to make sure that there's no bad feelings there. I understand how this works. He's trying to make it. He's trying to get into Formula One, and this moment should be also really big for him. I don't want to make it a bad situation for him. That's it. It's nothing personal. So that's all the conversation was, and I truly do wish him well. I want him to have a good run in Formula One. So it's just the circumstances, and that's how it is. But I still obviously like Mark a lot and respect him. Ricciardo explained that he felt it was critical that he contact Piastri because there was a risk of the youngster developing feelings of angst between them if he did not express his true feelings. If there's no communication, you never know what someone's feeling or thinking. Obviously, he's a lot younger than me. I don't know how he feels, if he's nervous to reach out and see how I'm doing. Also, I wanted to make sure that it was clear that I understand his position and absolutely no hard feelings. So that was good. I think it made him feel better. And yeah, I think the last thing he wanted was to have some weird tension between a few of the only Australians in this sport. So I'm glad that we've done that. Ricciardo's departure from McLaren was soured even further when the CRB revealed that Piastri has signed his contract on July the 4th. Daniel Ricciardo has since stated that he was not aware of this after confirming his own future with the team on July the 13th. The McLaren team principal Andreas Seidl stated during the French Grand Prix on July the 22nd that they have had a contract with Daniel in 2023 without a doubt. He added that there is no need to speculate on Daniel's future with them at the following weekend's Hungarian Grand Prix. After the news broke, it was unavoidable that Seidl would be confronted with accusations that he had lied to the media, and Seidl made a point to set the record straight. First of all, I think you all understand that we don't give you a live commentary about the internal decisions or conversations that we are having. And regarding the contract that we signed with Oscar on the 4th of July, it is clear that we don't disclose any details of that contract. Last but not least, and this is the most important for me, as we have said in the last week when we announced our agreement with Daniel, we have always had, throughout the process or throughout the season, an open and honest conversation with Daniel about where we are both together in our partnership. But it is also clear that this doesn't mean that Daniel is involved in any of the details or decisions that we are making regarding our future driver lineup. McLaren has received criticism on social media for putting together a deal with Piastri for 2023 while still under contract with Daniel Ricciardo. However, now that the dust has settled on the case and both parties have had to present their truth to the CRB, a clearer picture of what really happened has emerged, and the situation is very different from how some assumed. The reality is that, rather than a ruthless young driver and his management team betraying a team, the Piastri affair was more about them feeling let down and concluded that they had no choice but to look elsewhere or risk getting nothing. And, in McLaren's opinion, it was only guilty of pursuing the most competitive driver lineup it could when a once-in-a-generation opportunity presented itself. Regardless of whose fault it was, or even if someone was at fault, Daniel Ricciardo will now be looking for another seat for next season. Alpine, Haas and Williams all have open seats that he could consider. The Australian has, however, stated that he wants to complete the Spa-Zandvoort-Monza triple header before seriously considering what is available with his management team. I'm certainly trying to give them guidance, but everything is also too fresh. What I guess you've got to be careful of, and this is just in general, is especially with a decision like this, nothing can be emotional. That's why I kind of want to speak about it once the triple header is finished. Spa was Spa, but all of a sudden we're back into another weekend, so I probably won't get a chance to fully switch off and sit back until the end of the triple header. So I'm not really telling them no to anything for now. It's let's get everything there, and then after the triple header, maybe see what's available. And I'll probably know more where my head's at, and then start to maybe tick off and cross off some. I say it like there's going to be a million options. Probably not, but yeah, I'm being very open-minded. What are your thoughts and feelings about the situation? Are McLaren's integrity questions well-founded? Or are they somewhat exonerated now that more details have emerged? What is Ricciardo's Formula One future? We'd love to hear from you in the comments section below. Thank you for watching. If you like the video, please consider liking and subscribing to the channel, and don't forget to click the bell button to be notified of future videos.